What is the danger in the last row? Huh? Can anybody answer that question? If you put the woman in the annex, or you put them upstairs, or better than that, you throw them out of the masjid. Get out! No woman in this masjid! Get out! I raised my voice. We went to Tobago last weekend with Sheikh Ali Mustafa. While I was in Tobago, Brother Faiz Amin told me the story. His sister went into a masjid right here in Trinidad to perform salat, and she went to the back of the masjid. The Messenger of Allah said the best row for the woman is the last row. And so when a woman goes to the masjid, she goes to the last row. She has no option. And she's in the best row. And when the last row is filled up, then she goes to the second to last. And this is precisely what she did. And while she was standing in prayer, a senior member of the management of that masjid came up in front of her and started shouting at her, "Get out of this masjid! Get out of this masjid! Get out of this masjid! We don't want women in this masjid!" Now do you see why we need to build a Muslim village? She did the right thing. But they threw her out of the masjid. So she continued with her salat until she finished. But the man didn't stop. Even when she finished and she was leaving the masjid, he kept on shouting at her, "Get out of the masjid!" If you're comfortable with that kind of Islam, then you have eyes but you can't see. You have ears but you can't hear. You have hearts but you cannot understand. But he said that the worst row for the woman, the one who is most dangerous, is the first. Why? What's the danger for the last row for the man and the danger for the first row for the woman? What's the danger? If you take plywood and you put up a barrier, where is the danger? Take your plywood and put up a barrier in the man, where is the danger? The danger is you have changed the religion. This is not the religion that the Prophet left, alayhi salatu wasalam. Because she is now deprived of seeing the Imam as he stands on the mimbar to give the khutbah. You have deprived her of that right that she had in the time of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, that she had in the time of his companions. And so in the Muslim village, we seek to restore to the Muslim woman every right that Allah and His Messenger gave to her. Is that not beneficial? Around the world today, brothers and sisters, there's war on Islam. If you're in France, you can't go to school with hijab. I drive on the roads of Trinidad, and when school over, I see the pretty sight. I see so many school girls, Indian and African, in hijab. And I say, praise be to Allah. But in France, that's not allowed. You'll be thrown out of school. And what is happening in France today is going to happen in the rest of the world tomorrow. It's coming. It is a war on Islam. The intention is to break your faith. The intention is to ensure that you lose Islam. How do we preserve Islam? Answer is you've got to establish it. You cannot simply teach and preach, you have to establish Islam. We cannot establish Islam today, anywhere on the face of the earth, as a state, with control over government. Impossible. because those who control the world would not allow it. Alright, if the macro is not possible, is the micro possible? That is the philosophy of the Muslim village. That it is impossible to establish Islam at the macro level until Imam al-Mahdi arises. But if you differ with me, go ahead and try. If we cannot establish Islam at the macro level, do we have any excuse before Allah for not establishing it at micro level? If you attempt to establish it at the micro level, it must be remote, so it does not pose a threat to their godless world. وَإِذِ اعْتَزَلْتُمُوهُمْ, says Allah in Surah Al-Kahf. When you turn away from them, وَإِذِ اعْتَزَلْتُمُوهُمْ وَمَا يَعْبُدُونَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ, and you turn away from their godlessness, فَأْوُوا إِلَى الْكَهْفِ, flee to the cave, meaning flee to a place of safety, which is the Muslim village. يَنْشُرْ لَكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ مِنْ رَحْمَتِهِ وَيُهَيِّئْ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَمْرِكُمْ مِرْفَقًا. Allah will shower you with His mercy. Allah will protect you in the Muslim village. The world around us is already showing all the signs of vulgarity, of corruption, of godlessness. Do we want to wait for that day when people are committing sexual intercourse in public like donkeys? Do we want to wait for that before we take our wives and children away? No, we should not wait for that. When we could see the signs, this is already coming. The Muslim village is meant to take people away from that vulgarity, from that corruption, from that godlessness. I spoke to you about food already. I don't think we have the time to go into any more detail on the food. Now let me go finally to methodology. What should be our method? You can differ with me, with my opinion. I think that our plan should be to proceed stage by stage, because that's the methodology in the Quran, stage by stage. I think that stage one should be a massive program of public education, because I am anticipating that the enemy is going to try to paint this village project in ugly colors. So we take in front before in front take us in a massive program of public education, that we explain very clearly what we are about in establishing a Muslim village. Stage two would be to establish what I like to call weekend villages. So you don't have to sell your houses yet. You could continue to live in Tunapuna and Takarikwa and Larovain. But we have a weekend village. So Friday evening when you get off work, put your wife and your children in the car and you head for the village. And you try to reach before Maghrib. And you remain in the village until Sunday after Zuhr. So after Zuhr you can go and take care of whatever chores you have. Somebody's sick, you have to visit and so on. Sunday afternoon. You're shopping and so on, your groceries and so on, Sunday afternoon. Between Friday evening and Sunday Zuhr, we give you a taste of what it is to live in a Muslim village. The one that your grandmother used to live in 100 years ago in Trinidad. What it was like. What life used to be like once upon a time. Bring it back. We will need to lease land. We don't have to buy it. Lease a large plot of land, 5 acres, 10 acres perhaps. We need to construct a large, these are my ideas, you don't have to agree with me. Construct a large karat roof shed. So it's cheap to construct and it's cool. But it must be so large that it can accommodate 300-400 people under the shed. We'll use this karat roof shed for salat, for classes, for dining, for social work. Around the large shed, we put up tents where people can sleep. Collapsible tents. We put it up Friday, take it down Sunday. And a family will come and stay in the tent. During this period of time that you are in the village, everybody must participate in the 5 daily salah. A woman who